Happy Halloween.
Almost. I feel like we're a little late on the garden ready because fall break was last week and we fall broke. We're broken.
We fall broke. Yes, it is mid-October, but that's all right. You know, there's still plenty to do.
That's
and
right.
We've done plenty, and if you haven't done it yet, it's okay.
Yeah.
You still have time.
So we're going to tell you all the things that you can do.
So get ready, baby.
So go on. Well, the good thing about October is that a lot of what we're doing in October flows over into early November.
Absolutely. There's no like hard and fast rule on the timelines. I know I'm behind on some of my stuff. Mm-hmm. So there's still plenty of time.
Absolutely.
There's plenty of time to do what you want to do.
Well, let's talk about what we want to do.
All right, let's get some October garden readiness going on.
All right.
Welcome to Fostering Blooms, the podcast where we dig deep into gardening and all the ways it can enrich your home and life.
Together, we'll explore every aspect of gardening the organic way, keeping it simple, accessible, and fun.
Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just getting your hands in the dirt, we're here to share the tips and insights you need to grow something truly special. I'm Shannon Foster-Boleen.
And I'm Caitlyn Blum, and we're two friends on a mission to cultivate beauty, creativity, and connection through everything we grow.
This is Fostering Blooms.
Well, I guess the first thing to start with is harvesting. I mean, I'm still harvesting. I know you are. I still have a lot of my chili peppers, like my poblanos and jalapenos. I even did a batch of fermented peppers already and got hot sauce, and I have way more to harvest of those.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
It's really good.
It was really good. And I remind myself every year my peppers come on later.
Yeah.
It always seems like they're so slow, and I'm like, just remember in October, it's going to be awesome. So it's interesting. It's like they need all that summer heat to build up in them.
Yeah, they do. And I remember last October too, you had like huge baskets of peppers.
Tons.
You were like, here, do you need some of these? I'm like, okay. And they were great. I'm glad I tried them because I like peppers more than Sierra does. So I kind of shy away from using peppers because she doesn't love it, but I do.
I'm not a big bell pepper person, but the chili peppers I'm really into. So
Yeah, and you're good at them. You know them, you know how to utilize them, and
I know which ones are going to be a little trickier, although since I've been saving seeds from my own peppers, they germinate better. I would say that's a huge bonus.
so you could be doing that.
Absolutely.
But it'll be farther down on our list.
That's right. If you're growing figs, fall raspberries, maybe melons in warmer areas, I actually have a melon plant that decided to take off and grow, but I don't think it'll harvest. I don't think I'm going to grow anything actually on it except for the vine right now, but maybe some potatoes. I have a couple. My summer crop, my second crop didn't do as well. And so I'll get a few, but it's pretty disappointing actually. I think maybe I planted them too. I'm not sure.
I was 2 weeks later than you.
Yeah. And you didn't get anything either?
Well, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't looked yet.
Well, also in the same bed, I did sweet potatoes. Oh, what a lesson learned on that.
Let's talk about that.
Let's chat about sweet potatoes, gentle listeners. So this is my first time. I knew they get viney. I knew this, okay? I planted the one sweet potato that you gave me. You're like, here, use this. I'm not going to plant it. I planted it on the edge of my raised beds. So I did like 1 or 2 rows of potatoes, and then I did this one sweet potato at the end. Oh my God. It took over. It just barreled right over the potatoes. It started to, which I didn't really notice, climb on the shelling beans. I have a huge climbing shelling bean tower that I made out of some freaking trellis thing and a weed tree. They were growing up this weed tree, and I said, it's a trellis. So I didn't pull it out.
Oh my God.
Those killed the tree, and it fell over. I don't know what kind of tree it was.
A weed tree.
A weed tree, and it fell over. And so the shelling beans rolled over. Then the sweet potato vines went up the shelling beans and were like masses, at least like 3 or 4 tendrils, and twirling and twisting all in the shelling beans. It was a mess. And I realized it 2 days ago. I was like, oh my God, these are sweet potato vines. So I'm having to rip these tendrils out. It was the most invasive vegetable I've ever grown.
I've heard that you can cut the vines back and it doesn't affect the crop.
I should have done that.
But I didn't know that. And
Why didn't you tell me, Shannon?
I didn't
You
know. I
either.
grew them before. And they went crazy and I started cutting them and I'm like, I don't even care if I get a sweet potato. I don't want to deal with all this. And I really didn't. I got like the one I gave you. So it was much happier at your house.
I cannot wait to see. And I probably should have Googled this before I am talking about it right now. But my question is, so the sweet potato vines are coming out of the one sweet potato. They're running and then they're attaching into the ground in some places. Are they growing sweet potatoes there too? Or is it just a clump at the center one?
I think they're trying to grow more sweet potatoes there. We'll put it in the notes.
We will let you know.
I'm not trying to pretend to be a sweet potato expert.
I don't know.
Yeah, we just kind of
I'll
both
be
kind of threw them in
totally
there.
honest.
Yeah.
I have no clue. So I'll either have like a giant cluster of them or they'll be all over the bed.
Well, I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out. So sorry about that tangent.
No, it's okay. Well, the shelling beans, it's so funny because the shelling bean that you're talking about is the riozape, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the shelling beans that we grew, one of the varieties is riozape, and I thought they were all bush beans. I feel like it says on there that it is a bush bean, but I bought it from a place where you're buying to eat it, not necessarily to grow it. And so I just really didn't check. I just assumed it was, which is not a good thing because Christmas lima beans are a vining shelling bean. And talk about something taking over. My lima bean, I'm afraid it's going to break the cow panel trellis. Like I have to go out there and cut some of it back. And it's gone onto the other one next to it. Caitlyn wanted to do a trust fall on it, the middle of it. The other day I was like, oh my God, it probably would catch you. But then both the towers would fall.
Massive web. This like flow. How do you even describe
it's like a wave.
It was a wave of beans, and I turned around and I said, watch this, Shannon. I was getting ready to trust fall.
Oh my
She's
God.
like, oh my God, no.
I was like,
But it was so lush. It really did. It took the flap over.
yeah, it did. And the thing with the lima beans, the reason I didn't tame it so much is because one pod, you have to wait for it to dry, and there's like 2 beans in it. So you need to have like this huge amount to get any decent amount. If you ever buy Christmas lima beans and you get a 1 pound bag, I'm telling you, it's probably like 80 feet of vine that made that. Like it's a lot.
Wow.
Anyways, that's my takeover story for the vegetables this year. But the riozape, back to that, I think it is a vining bean because it did the same thing. Like it grew up over the vines of my other beans.
Did so well though. They're beautiful beans.
I got to harvest. They're the last ones for me to harvest. I didn't get as much as I'd hoped on my shelling bean experiment, but I also didn't do a ton to improve the soil, and I'm not 100% sure my irrigation worked the way it should. I really ignored them most of the time. So you know what? I got some beans. I'll let you know how many.
Hey, yeah.
But we still have some to shell, so I'm not sure. I don't have a final number yet.
And it's interesting, when I took off the sweet potato vines, I was ripping some of the beans off. And I was like, I'm not wasting these. So I collected them too. But a lot of them were like, they were ready. I've been picking them when they're like purple or dried. And then I'm drying them out. But
Yeah. Some of mine I missed and they were getting a little moldy on the inside, but it's also kind of one of those things where it just is what it is. So
that's all you can
as
do.
far as other harvesting things.
Tomatoes. I'm still harvesting tomatoes.
Me too. I still have a few. We're getting close. The nights are starting to get into the 50s, so it's really going to slow down, which is fine. I'm ready. I have a batch that needs to be canned, and then this is probably going to be my last canned batch. I might, although last year I canned a bunch in November, but I had a bumper crop last year.
It was insane.
It was
the amount of tomatoes you had.
It's the best I've ever had. So this year seems like it was half of that.
Agreed.
But this is also a time to harvest and dry culinary herbs like your oregano, your thyme. If you have any mint and basil left, you can grab those in. And if you have tender herbs, you can bring them indoors. I have a bay leaf plant that I've just learned to sink the pot into the planter that I put it in. I put it in a planter, so it's close to the door. And then I sink it down into the soil and plant stuff around it. And then I can just pull the planter up and bring it inside. I mean, the plastic pot it comes in.
Yeah.
So the roots did grow through it this year, but I'm like, it'll be fine. I'll bring it inside and put it in a thing in here. And then tarragon is another one that you could dig up and bring in. Mine survived last winter. Really, I think only because it's surrounded by limestone screenings and it's got really free drainage. But usually French tarragon will not make it through the winter here.
Interesting. I need to harvest it and dry it, but it is grown like super leggy and like gone over the bed. And
Yeah. It will do that. But I mean, I love French tarragon. I think it's just a fabulous herb. So harvesting is really, it's kind of the big one. You know, the next thing, planting, right?
Planting for fall and your winter crops. So we've done a lot of this already. I think we're going to do a second. Let me correct myself. Shannon is going to do a second sowing for us. I'm so blessed. But you can also do a second sowing direct sow in your garden too. Fall crops, your lettuces, spinach, Asian greens, peas, cauliflower, broccoli, cabbage. And you can keep sowing carrots, winter radishes, beets, fava beans, short day onions. Are you doing any short day onions?
Yeah, I've got some just like quote spring onions essentially that I sowed a couple
seed?
From seed a few weeks ago. And chives are really coming back. This is a perennial, but chives are amazing. And they will go through, 0 degrees, snow, the whole gambit. What they don't like actually is the summer heat. They do really well in the cool weather. But these are just like a spring onion that I sowed. And the leeks will do well over winter. I sow them in the spring usually and then keep them pretty much until the next spring. Leeks are really long crop, but you could sow them now and then harvest them early summer. I think the other thing that I really love this time of year is my arugula. And it's already taken off. It's doing really, really well.
So is mine.
And you convinced me to sow tatsoi, and it's big enough now that I could harvest a few leaves.
Yay!
So I'm excited to try it because I've never really done it.
It's so hardy. The arugula, there's ones that you gave me that I planted, and then there's some that I direct sowed too, and they're starting to come up, and they're happy. The bok choy is doing really good. We don't have everything on here that we've. This is not an extensive list.
Yeah. So my beets I started as starts, which is a little controversial because it's a root crop and a lot of root crops don't like to be disturbed, but I got them started. I got them planted. They were doing great. I looked yesterday when I went out there and all the beet tops are gone.
Someone had a really tasty snack.
They did. And they also had a tasty snack on about 25 spinach plants, but I planted so much spinach. I'm just like, whatever, it'll grow back.
You did do, yeah. And my turkeys and my one chicken, who I named Turtle, don't ask me why, came in and ate all the greens off of the lettuces you gave me. And so I'm hoping that it just grows back, that it'll come back. So we'll see.
I think some of it, if there's any greenness, leaf left on it, it probably will.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm going to definitely sow another crop of lettuce. And I did just direct sow some carrots and some more spinach where it had gotten eaten and beets. So just go ahead and keep doing that. And if you haven't been able to do starts and you want starts because you don't want to do it from seed, then go to your nursery. They have tons of starts right now.
Yeah.
And try some stuff that you've never maybe tried before.
No risk.
Yeah. Well, the big thing that's coming up for us is garlic.
I was going to say is the garlic. And you know what? There's one other thing I'm harvesting right now, and that's carrots. Because I planted them in July and
did they grow?
They grew and they're huge. I kind of missed the boat. They're like this big.
Wow.
Remember when I was like, I did some more beets and carrots and you're like, I don't know if those are going to come up.
I know. I was like, you're crazy. It's summer. That's not going to happen. This is the story of our relationship. She's like, I just did this. I'm like, that's crazy. It's never going to work. And then she's like, look at my 8-foot carrot. I'm like, okay, thank you for making me realize.
I'm so hodgepodge. And sometimes it works and sometimes, it's the best of both worlds. But yes, the biggest thing we're going to be planting, I'm really excited about, is our garlic and our shallots.
I know.
And we have between now and early November to plant those.
Yeah. And honestly, last year I planted them smack dab in the middle of October, and I think I needed to wait till early November because it's staying warm so much longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like...
I thought you were choking up over it.
No, I just had something in my throat.
I was like, honey, it's okay.
Well,
the garlic.
I will tell you, I'm super paranoid about this year's garlic crop because last year's was so wonky. And it's funny though, because those potatoes that just didn't do well are in the same damn bed that the garlic. I put some cabbage in and some cauliflower, and if for some reason it doesn't really come come good. I'm not going to be super mad about it because I've got another bed exactly the same.
Okay.
But yeah, that bed in the spring, I'm really going to do some business on
So
it.
you'll do the garlic somewhere else,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah, and the shallots. The shallots did great.
The shallots were awesome.
Shallots were really good. I guess the moral of the story is wait until you know it's going to be cool to do your garlic and your tulip bulbs.
Yeah, I was about 2 weeks behind. I'm always like 2 weeks behind you usually on doing stuff because you'll give me like the potatoes. You'll be like, I planted them, and then you'll give me my potato starts or the garlic
Right, yeah.
or whatever, or I
Yeah.
don't get to it as fast. I'm like, I'm going to do that. So I'm always like 2 weeks behind.
You have a toddler. You get as many weeks behind as you want to have.
Precious. But yeah, so we have the garlic that we ordered, and then we have our own garlic. We need to choose which varieties from the ones that we have left over.
We're going to choose which bulbs because I'm going to do all the varieties that we have
right.
left over. And we have so many shallots. We have red and gray.
Oh my God, we have so many.
I'm afraid to even plant more shallots. I need to plant fewer shallots because I can't use all of them.
I can't either.
We're going to have to give away some shallots.
We're going to have a shallot giveaway, folks, and get ready.
Yeah, send us your name and address and a postage mark. No, I'm just kidding.
Leave us a great review, and we'll send you as many shallots as you want.
There you go.
Homegrown organic shallots.
Yeah, give us a 5-star. Shallots for a 5-star. Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right, what else?
Well, division. We talked about division in September as well, but I mean, this is a great time to divide plants. Like peonies that have gotten really big. You could do catmint, salvia, echinacea, sedum, daylilies, irises. There's a lot.
There is so much. I mean, if you want to divide it, do it now.
Yeah, there's a lot to divide that you can divide. You don't have to.
I just think about all the stuff I should. You know when you're driving along like a country road and you see in the springtime there's like a huge, massive peonies, and they've been there for probably like 50 years.
Yep.
They probably don't divide those.
They don't divide them.
And I'm always like, oh my God, look at all those peonies over there.
Let me go divide this for you.
Let me take some for you.
I know. I feel that way every time. There's one at my old house, and I'm always like, I want to go over there and divide it. It needs to be divided. But the thing about it is that it's not only the time for division, it's also the time for planting in a lot of things. I just planted in some on sale Mexican bush sage that I got. It's a really beautiful salvia that's really on the fence whether it'll make it here or not, but I'm just gonna mulch it. And then I've got some fleece that I can throw over it if we get some really big cold snaps. I kind of planted them in an area where I could do that easily. And if you want to dig your dahlias, you could dig those and rinse them off and dry them and cut them and store them. Or last year I dug up a couple dahlia clumps and repositioned them. Didn't divide them because they were new. I just moved them out of the old bed and put them in new places that I wanted them.
And they did fine.
They did great. And I feel like people don't talk about that. It's just like you either leave it in the ground or you dig it up and store it. And it's like, or you dig it up and move it somewhere else.
Yeah.
And divide it.
And divide. And yeah.
And divide it.
That's great. Divide it and dig
Replant it.
and replant it.
So I think that there's more options there. I love the cool weather because I love the hedges and the evergreens. So this is the time of year you can start from now until February.
Yeah. The options are pretty much endless to put in right now.
There's a lot of things that you can put in if you do it now. Like we don't have a lot of bare root roses in the US. England, this is the time that people are planting in bare root roses. I'm very jealous about this.
I am too.
And a little bit bitter, and I don't understand why David Austin, hello David Austin, US, you do it overseas, can you not sell us bare root here?
Yeah.
And so it's like you got to order it and wait. If you can get your hands on a bare root rose now, you could plant it.
Yeah.
I know we're not talking a lot about bulbs, but I haven't even received my bulb order yet. I have to be honest, like for me, I just think November now is the best time to do it into early December. Just finish it before the holiday.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've planted bulbs in January before because
Yeah.
I didn't get around to it.
And that may happen this year because I ordered a lot of bulbs.
How many bulbs you got coming, Shannon?
Well, some of them are tiny.
Okay.
Hang on, I got to think about this. Probably at least 400.
Oh my God, last year was 300, right?
Last year was at least 300, yes.
I just remember you telling me that. I had planted 300 bulbs. I'm like, oh my God, so this year is 400.
Because I've got 100 daffodils coming for the courtyard, 100 tulips, I think.
Mhm.
Some anemone, corneria the bride. I've got 200 of the allium drumsticks. I got 2 or 3 fritillaria bulbs that I'm very excited about.
Ooh,
Those are
yeah.
expensive, but they're gorgeous. Yeah, but last year I had a lot of little small bulbs too. I did a bunch of snowdrops.
Yeah, you did.
I did fritillaria milagris, and none of them came up.
None
and I'm
of
like,
mine came up.
I know, and I'm like,
Wonder
I
why.
don't know. I'm like, maybe this year I'll get lucky. I mean, I love them,
They're
but
so
I was
pretty,
like,
so delicate.
I know, but I didn't order them again because I was just like, I've got to focus on the courtyard.
You have a new focus there. Well, I know you got me my drumstick allium
Yep.
bulbs. Thank you so much. So I have
100
100 to plant myself. I haven't really gotten any other tulips. I think I'm resentful that I plant them and I work so hard, and then they only came up once.
Right.
I'm like, I want that reoccurring. I want to do it once and it come back over and over.
I think that's why daffodils have gotten
Yes.
more popular, and am embracing daffodils more than I used to. Like, I keep talking about the courtyard, which we're going to have an episode upcoming about that area and this whole installation. But as I plan for that, I'm like, you know what? I'm planting things in here that will come back for the most part, so I can handle doing like 50 to 100 white tulip
Oh
bulbs.
yeah, absolutely, to fill in
Because
between.
I've got my drill and my auger, and I zit, 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 zit.
Yeah, I mean, I did 100 drumsticks on the hillside, and that took no time at all. That was fine. It was the ones on this faux riverbed that I did where I was going through 2
Oh.
layers of landscape fabric and rock. I think that's probably where I got a little bit better.
Yeah,
So,
I
I mean,
understand
if you're
why.
not dealing with that, then it's
Yeah.
not a big a deal.
It depends on where you're planting them.
This is very true.
Yeah. But I did not order a bunch of the tulips in the area that I did them last year. I did get some perennial ones, but I'm hoping some of those come back up because I really did love looking at that. And there's still time. This is
Beautiful.
tulip sale time. So I may
Yeah.
change my mind and get a wild hair and be like, woohoo, I'm ordering them anyways. I don't care.
I probably will too. I
Yeah.
say that, and then I'm like,
I know. And then you're just like, oh God, they're 30% off. I must
I
get
know.
them.
I was ordering them up till Thanksgiving last year.
I know. There's so many pretty choices.
There really
Okay,
are.
we're going on. So we'll start to wrap it up, but I would say winter prep, cover crops if you're going to do them, and we can talk more about that in November. And then getting your stuff ready to protect from frost. I just order frost cloth from Johnny's. I feel like it does the best job. But you might do row covers where you're getting fancier than that. But for most gardeners, even if you just throw a fleece on top of it without the little hoop, but long term, it's nice to have it off the plant just so that it doesn't get the frost and the water touching the plant.
I'm going to get fancy with the frost cloths this year. Although last year I took sticks and stuck them in my bed, and I put clear plastic over it. And
It did actually really well.
I overwintered little baby lettuce were in there. All my garlic, everything did really well, but it was just such a pain in the...
Well, when you think about it, it was kind of like a mini
It was a
hoop
greenhouse. Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
But
it was.
it also comes with its own risks, and I think
Yeah.
it did really, really well. The frost cloth works for me. A lot of it's just about getting it to stay on those little hoops, which we'll talk more about that in November.
Yeah, let's cover that.
So I think the last thing,
Ooh, pruning.
yeah,
Let's talk about that in November, because I'm not ready to prune my roses yet. They're still beautiful and greeny.
it's not really time. I mean, other than just a little bit of like cleaning up. Right now, really, we shouldn't be pruning unless it's just like diseased, dead. I cut back a bunch of dahlias that were in really bad shape, and I'm letting that little stem kind of harden up. I noticed there's an echinacea that got a lot of downy mildew on it, and I'm like, whoa. So I'm gonna cut that back. Usually I leave the heads, but this is a good time to start a little bit of that,
Yeah.
even though I do like to leave some winter structure.
Yeah.
But you really wouldn't be pruning any of your spring bloomers like hydrangeas or forsythia, lilac, and even evergreens. I missed the boat on pruning my evergreens this year, but there also a lot of them are in a growth state, and some of the ones that aren't will just get a little harder prune back next year.
Yeah, I think that works.
Yeah. And then save those leaves.
Yes, save your leaves. Be raking those up, putting them in plastic bags, poking some holes in there so they can breathe, and put them behind your shed or something.
Yeah.
You'll really thank yourself next year.
Yeah, that leaf mold.
It's so great to take advantage of. It's
And
free.
Yeah, and you know what else you can do? I haven't done this, but I've heard people talk about it. Well, two things. One, you can run over your leaves with a lawnmower and it chops them up. But you can also put them in like a big trash bin and put your weed trimmer in there, and it breaks them up and it speeds up the biodegrading process. So I have a pin oak over one of the beds, the oak tree bed.
Oh,
and
they're so tiny already.
They're so tiny. So I just leave them. But what you just don't want to have happen is that you leave leaves in a place and it forms like this big dense mat, and then no water can get down there and a bunch of insects hide. So the fall cleanup is really about making sure you're not leaving areas for pests over winter, and making sure you're not like blocking nutrients and water and stuff from actually getting in the soil. But I love this time of year for the leaves. I'm always like, do not get rid of any leaves.
That's right.
Put them in a pile here.
Yeah, save them. And that's a great
them,
idea. Mulching.
Mix them in your vegetable beds. Like, it's great.
That's
so
awesome.
anyways, yeah, I think that's going to be
enough for you all.
I mean, you got a week to do all this. So
Get going.
chop.
I know I got to get going.
All right, well.
Let's go grow, baby. The dahlias are fading, the pumpkins are plotting, and we're definitely procrastinating on that garden cleanup. If this episode made you smile or feel a little bit more ready for fall, then tap those 5 stars. It helps our garden-loving crew grow more. Now grab your cozy overalls and let's go grow, baby.